How you doing?
Hey, how are you? I'm great.
Good, good, good. Welcome to the Pimp Game Podcast. I am your host, Kenny D, and we are here on the Pimp Game Podcast. We are here with the infamous KANISHA BUSS. That's right, comedian straight out of LA. She is doing it. And we are here to talk to her about what she got going on. So, KANISHA, let's take it back from where it all started for you. How, when you were younger, what have you, how did you know that you being a comedian or you being funny, even having the audacity to make people laugh, how did you know that that was your thing?
It's the whole story is crazy. So as far as like entertainment, I've been on stage my whole life, but it was more for acting, theater, drama, things like that. I was class clown, but I never thought I was stage funny. That was not my thing. I started working at the comedy shop, so I would do like backstage managing, things like that. I've always loved comedy. I grew up watching Comedy View. I used to sneak to watch a Def Jam. I always loved comedy, but I didn't think I was a comedian. That never once crossed my mind.
Okay.
So at the time, I started managing my boyfriend, Lenny. He was extremely funny. So I started managing him. And one night we were at the Comedy Underground and he dared me to go up. And dares have got me in trouble my whole life. I'm telling you, I'll take a dare in a minute. So I got up, I did 3 minutes and I fell in love immediately. He went back to the comedy shop and told everybody where I work. And the owner was like, all right, next week, you got 10 minutes, get ready. All my sorority sisters, everybody packed that theater out. People were sitting on the floor and it changed my entire life off of a dare. Like, and he still says I stole his dreams. Like he'll call me and be like, you stole every time a movie come out, something come out, like you stole my whole life. Like, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you dared me. And this would happen because I was a teacher before this. I love teaching. I love being an educator. I coach sports. Like I love that life. This is not what I had planned on doing.
Wow, 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 wow. Definitely sometimes God has a higher calling for us. So let me ask you, you're on stage or what have you, somebody dared you, you said daring is your thing. Don't dare KANISHA because she's going to take you on the dare.
I'm going to do it.
So, the next show, let's go to that next show where the owner gave you 10 minutes, 10 minutes. That's a lot of time standing up there on stage, to be honest, right?
Yes.
How was that experience for you? Was you in awe or was you even nervous now? Because now it's different. The spotlight is on you now. They know you're funny.
You're always nervous. Being a comedian is the worst mental abuse you'll ever go through. Every time before they go, you're next, you get the mic is mental abuse. And you're not funny. Everybody hates you. I don't know why you do this. And I had asked Rodney Perry a few years in the I was like, yo, when does that feeling go away where I'm just terrified and I'm nervous? He said, it never goes away. And if it goes away, stop doing comedy because that means you don't care anymore. So to find out vets that I've watched my whole life still have that feeling before they get on stage, like, oh my God, I hate this. Why do I do this? It's terrifying. And then once we get the mic, our natural gift flows, but I wasn't, I'm still like that. I'm still neurotic before shows. I'm still like in my zone, freaking out every single show, no matter how many shows. If I have 3 shows a night, before each 3 show, I'm going through the same thing. And that was just like that first night. But for me, having so many people that I knew, like all my friends are there, it was more of a conversation. So it made it easier because I pretty much knew everybody than going to a new city where nobody knows you. And it's like, all right, let me see, so that was an incredible night though. And that's why I was like, this is it. My mentors, they were like, you have a gift and this is what you have to do.
Wow, wow, I love that. So tell us here on the Pimp Game Podcast, your mentor said, hey, you got to do this or what have you. Was it surreal for you, like to see you actually really stick through with it? Because a lot of times in life, somebody might tell you you should do this. This is your call. I've been begging my mother to do comedy ever since, I don't know, 5 years ago. She still won't get on stage. She won't do it. Is it surreal for you to see now that like you're really taking this thing seriously where it's taking you far? Is it surreal for you?
It still is. And I've been a comedian 15 years now. So to watch my life and my journey moving to LA, because I'm originally from Seattle. So I came down here for the summer and everybody was like, yo, you got a gift. You can't leave. Like I wasn't even supposed to be living in LA. I was just coming for the summer and never went home. Like that's how, when I got here, they're like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. I'm like, wow, am I really this good? Because sometimes I suffer from imposter syndrome, which a lot of us do, but we don't think we're as good as everybody thinks we are. We're like, oh yeah, I just got over on them. I'm not really this good. It's really weird. So for me, I'm like, damn, I really am this good. It's always a shock for me, like to have so many people come up. I'm like, how did I get here? Like, I'm always blown away, especially when I'm writing and I'm coming up with stuff. I'm like, oh, this shit about to be crazy. And then it's like, wow, they really are fucking with this dark stuff. Can we cuss on here? So it's cool. It's therapy. It's exciting. Yeah, but I will say, and I talk all over the place. So you might ask me something and I talk fast and I be jumping around. So let me try to reset. Let you ask. So yeah, but yes, it is. It's very surreal.
All right. Yo, if you are just joining us, we are here on the Pimp Game Podcast, and you are tuned in to the infamous Miss KANISHA BUSS. That's right, comedian out of LA. She is doing big things in the industry. We are here picking her brain about how she got into the entertainment industry. All right. So let me ask you. Now you're in LA. You probably see a lot of comedians out there. You probably see a lot of entertainers doing things. It's kind of normal over there to see those people in our world. You seeing those people, on an everyday basis. Who's the comedian that maybe kind of took you underneath their wings when you got to LA?
Oh man, that's crazy because I haven't been really. I'm like making sure I don't it was me. And I've always been a me person. I'm the oldest of a bunch of kids. It was people that I looked up to and I watched and studied, but nobody was like, here, let me show you everything out here. So in Seattle, Ralph Porter was a big mentor of mine. But out here, it's a lot of my peers. I think that's who, it wasn't anybody older. As peers, we stuck together. We punched each other's stuff. Tony Baker, DC Urban, Clayton Thomas, BT Kingsley, Nate Jackson, who, if I would have to say, really gave me a lot of game is him. And he's one of 4 Black comedy club owners in the United States. He has a super funny comedy club back in Washington, where I just actually got back from. And he's incredible. One of the most talented, hardworking people I've ever seen. So I take a lot from him. But again, it's been more my peers. I feel like our generation of comedy looks out for each other a lot. So I would have to say it was more, and all of us had moved here at the same time because we went to the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition that Tony Spires had put on for years. And it's a hotel full of comics from everywhere. And a lot of us met there. And the next year, all kind of ended up in LA at sporadically. So I would have to say it's more my peers that we really rocked with each other.
Okay. I like that. So being as though you're rocking with your peers, you just mentioned you were on tour. Take us through the moment where you first went on tour doing comedy, because there are a lot of folks who could do comedy at a local comedy shop or comedy venue or what have you, but they're not going on tour. Take us through that first moment for you when you got the call for you to go on tour.
Well, it's crazy because I got to go all the way back. The first person to ever put me on the road is Speedy. And you know what? I do have to add this because he was somebody who helped me and being a mentor to me. He got me over on Fox Soul because, I did radio. I was on Fox Soul forever over at Sirius XM. I got a lot of work through him and he was the first person to put me on the road. It's different because now you're in a city. It's one thing to perform at home. Like, all right, I know if all else fails, I'm about to just start cracking with my sister, like anything. I like hotel life. A lot of people don't like the hotel life. I like sleeping in the hotels. I like going to new cities, but it is for me more nerve-wracking, especially because I feel like sometimes comedy is regional. So what I have to do is kind of study what's hot over there. If I'm going to the South, all right, I'm in Florida. What's the number one place? What's something that people talk about? You have to incorporate their city in the beginning. For me, that works to kind of get them to feel, because people like to hear about their hometowns. So I say the biggest thing for me is when I go out on the road is to figure out what's hot in their city, what's going on in that city, and make jokes out of it. to get, to make it comfortable for me and for them. Like, all right, we fuck with her. She know everything out here. I think that's a big part of the road, is knowing where you're going and, what jokes you can and can't do. Because some stuff, if it's heavy West Coast, it don't really translate on the East Coast. Or if it's, a lot of Caribbean, Dominican, like you have to know, where you're going and kind of weave your stuff with that. For a lot of stuff is kind of universal, but the stuff that's not, you got to kind of tweak it. And for me, it's just exciting. I think one of my favorite places was Baltimore, which is crazy because my child's father from Baltimore. But I had a blast out there. People just be ready to laugh, but it's more hardcore on the East Coast than the West Coast. You have to really, really work. Like you get on stage, it ain't no bullshitting like it is on the West Coast. Them East Coast rooms do not play. So it's just knowing your audience,
Okay.
and knowing what you're gonna do.
All right. That's what's up. I like that. So you mentioned your daughter or what have you. Let me ask you this. As a parent, you have a little girl, what have you. Is it tough being on the road, knowing that you have a daughter at home that maybe you can't give her the attention, maybe like other little girls may get from a mother that's always home? How tough is that for you, as well as your daughter, and seeing you going on the road all the time, even though you're trying to put food on the table for the family?
First of all, let's start here. I'm 30. I had her at 37. My whole career has been based on fuck these kids. I'm not having no kids. So this was already like, whoa. And I'm 10 years older than her father. Like, and this was not in the plans for me. So that's already just my comedy alone. Watching that transition, hardcore party girl, city girl turn to a mom is already very funny. But the thing is, with a lot of parents, a lot of women don't have this super over attachment where you can't leave home. We're supposed to feel like that. And that's what society makes you feel like, and that's why women suffer from a lot of postpartum and they feel like unfit parents. I be gone. I be FaceTiming. What's up? Like, I don't have that super old, like my daughter is that's my ace right there. Like when I'm here, we do everything together. I'm teaching her different languages. I do all her therapies. Like I'm very active in her life, but I also do have to leave. But I make sure I'm on FaceTime. We playing the piano over the FaceTime. Like I do as much as I can. I'm very present and active in her life, but I also need me time. And I preach that. Mothers, you got to have you time. Don't let people make you feel like you feel bad. Yep, I'm gone for a week. I'll be back, and ain't even thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like I just be keeping it real, but that's why people are drawn to my comedy, because I say a lot of things that mothers should be saying that they'll feel bad for saying. So no, yeah, she does very well. Me and her are like this, and when I'm gone, I'm gone, and that is it is what it is. And I want her to see me happy, see me living my life and follow my dreams, so she knows that she can do that and be a mom as well. Because if you ask anybody, they're like, Bean has the best mom in the world. Like I go all out for her. So it's very balanced. And she have an active dad, So
Okay. I like that. So in reference to your daughter, can you see already maybe she's gonna step in your footsteps and be a comedian, or maybe she's gonna be a musician? You mentioned you helping or having fun with her playing the piano, things of that nature. What do you see her footsteps leading her?
Let me tell you something. My baby is a straight ass fool. Every day I be like, I know God did not give me a me. She is a whole fool. Do you understand me? She plays pranks. She likes watching comedy. And her dad, I used to rap back in the day. So I'm already have, my musical talent, but her dad plays the piano, plays the guitar. He sings, he raps, he produces. So they spend a lot of time doing that too. So she's definitely going to be some type of artist and be in the acting. She be doing the most. She has more fans than I do. Let me tell you, we were in the airport and people were yelling out, Bean, Bean. I was like, oh my gosh. And her dad was at the store and people be running up on her. So she's extremely funny. Even when she was in the NICU, when she was born, the first day they was like, yo, she got everybody up here laughing. I'm like, she's supposed to be healing. Y'all mean she laughing? She in a whole incubator in tubes. How are y'all laughing? So she definitely is a little star. A little ham.
Okay, I like that. Yo, if you are just joining us, we are here with the infamous KANISHA BUSS. We are here with her, picking her brain about the comedy.
Go ahead. Okay. I'm being a mom right now. You don't even see the little hand right here. When I have to do stuff like this, and I don't normally give her candy, she got a whole bucket of Halloween candy. I'm like, just eat it, shit. Eat it all. So I can. You gotta try to balance. It's like you don't even know how to put chocolate pudding, whipped cream, cookies. Being a parent and doing this is a lot.
All of that. All right. Yo, we are here with the infamous KANISHA BUSS, comedian out of LA, and we are picking her brain here on the Pimp Game Podcast about how she got into the industry. So now you're in LA, you're touring, stuff like that. I heard you mention earlier, we're gonna go back to that. You were on Fox Soul, also Comedy Central. Tell us, when you got the call to even be on Fox Soul, even Comedy Central, which is so huge, how was that for you? Did you break down crying? Was you in amazement? What's up? What happened? How did that go?
It's a surreal feeling because you grow up watching Comedy Central, right? And it's like, dang, I'm about to be on something where I've watched people my whole life. So when I got the call, because it was for Heart of the City, for Kevin Hart's Heart of the City, so I had to go back home to film. So to even be called one of the Heart of the City of Seattle of comedy, like they had the main people that represented. So to represent my city like that was a better feeling to get on any show. It's like, out of all of Washington, you are part of Heart of, you're the heart of the city. So for me, that it was next level. Like I was just in shock. I was like, damn, you put in the work, you here, and I gotta go kill it. And I did. Make sure you watch it. So
Okay.
that was exciting. One thing that you learn in Hollywood from being here so long, you don't even be crying and breaking down, because until you actually see it on TV, then you know, because you'll go film a whole movie and they'll cut out all your scenes. Like, so I am in a place where I don't get excited in the beginning, because I've had a lot of false promises. That's just LA. So I used to always get excited, always get hyped up. So to me, until I actually see it, then my emotion, like I've learned to be like, all right, we'll see. Like I have some deals on the table now, but until I'm there filming in the sick dance, like, all right, we'll see. So unfortunately, you kind of get like that once you're here. So once it aired though, I was running around doing the most,
I like that. I like
So
that.
that was that. And Foxhole was gradual. I started, just coming doing guest spots. And I grew up my first time over there. So I grew up Jamie Foxx. So for him to be my boss, it's like, I'm sitting there, Jamie Foxx is there, Stacey Dash, it was Casey, JoJo, and Jim Brown. And I'm just sitting there and we're singing. I'm like, I'm singing Jodeci with Jodeci, and we're dancing and shit. I'm like, yo, I can't believe my talent has me in a room with people that I've watched my whole life. So that be blowing me. Like, I am just really out here, this is crazy. So it's fun. It's exciting,
Wow. So you kind of check your emotions at the door. So let me ask you, in terms of getting gigs and, getting the calls, you got projects on the table right now. Are there any comedians or maybe actors, actresses that you look forward to working with in the near future?
You know what's so crazy? I'm working with so many talented people. I don't know, I've been at All Def Digital pretty much since the beginning, which is Russell Simmons Comedy Network. So there's so many out of us that came out of there, from Kev on Stage, Doughboy, rest in peace, Teddy, Patrick Cloud. There's so many of us over there. Like those are the people that are so funny. CP, Chris Powell is one of the funniest people of all times. Tony Baker, I'm working with the people that I want to work with. I'm sitting here I've opened for Mike Epps before. I've, Russell and Jamie have been my bosses before. I'm like, who is it that I would just love to work with? But I feel like my generation of talent is next level. It's like, I just want to continue making stuff with the people that I know and love, to hear more. And Jade, like all these people that I came up with, Nate, it's like, that's who I'm working with. I'm like, who is it? I can't tell you. And I performed with bigger names, too, you know what I'm saying? Out here, but I don't know. I can't,
Okay.
I ain't really, I can't tell you. I feel like I'm working who I want to work with.
Okay, I like that. I respect that. I actually like that, because it's true to you. I love it. So tell us, in terms of you working with people and things of that nature, do you see yourself in the future maybe having your own comedy special out of like a Kevin Hart or something like that? Maybe you bring comedians on and let them do their thing on stage. Do you see yourself going that route maybe sometime in the future?
Yeah, I definitely see that. Before COVID, I had a special that was supposed to get shot. The world shutting down ruined a lot of stuff. I also was supposed to be on a sitcom, and then I had found out I had got COVID and was sick for 6 months. I missed out on a lot of opportunities. It's like every time something's getting ready to pop, something happens to me. So it's a weird balance, but I know everything is going to happen in due time. I actually filmed my first stand-up special 8 months into comedy, which a lot of people were very surprised by. The Get on Board or Get Ran Over. It was very very early in my career.
I like that.
And it hit. It's still a hit. But all that stuff is coming. All of it is coming. And once I get myself out there, I definitely want to be the KANISHA presents, you know, all the homies. I'm working on a special that features mom comedians right now. So we're putting the logistics and everything of that together. And that will be me and my mom, like me presenting the different moms in the way, well, I can't give away too much, but it's going to be dope. And I'm excited about that as well. So it's a lot of stuff in the works. Getting ready to come up. And even right now, what I love, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Caffeine Network. I used to battle rap way back. I used to rap way back in the day. So I'm a battle rap fanatic. And now Caffeine has crossed over with All Def Digital and stuff. So I'm a host of a new hip hop game show over there called You Know About That. So things like that. I'm just opening up my horizons from game shows. And I'm going to be having my own momcast type thing soon. So it's a lot. It's a lot of things coming my way.
I like that. I like that. Very busy woman. I love it. Yo, if you are just joining us, you are tuned into the Pimp Game Podcast, and we are here with the one and only KANISHA BUSS. That's right, comedian out of LA, doing her thing, talking to us about the industry. So let me ask you this, because I know we alluded to you going on tour, things of that nature earlier. In terms of going on tour, is there a stigma out there for comedians where even though you're going on tour, you love what you do, right? You'll never retire because you love it, right? I'm talking about the Samoas of the world. I'm talking about the Kevin Hart's, Dave Chappelle, those types of people. They're always traveling. Chris Rock, you name it, you know, these people are traveling. Is there a wall that you hit as a comedian that, like, you just like, man, I love this, but I'm tired. I am just tired. Have you ever hit the wall, or how has that been for you?
I haven't hit the wall as far as on the road, because I haven't been on the road like that. Like them that are gone every single weekend, that are on cruises all weekend. I haven't hit that. I haven't done that. But I watch my friends get burnt out. There's a lot of people that are tired of the road, especially as we get older and they're missing their families and things like that. But for me, I hit a wall not too long before her as far as stand-up. I was like, I'm just going to focus on writing, because I have my writing and producer credits. I have movies out as well that back in the day was in Walmart and, you know, Redbox. So I have all these different avenues of things I've done. And I was kind of over stand-up for a while. And a lot of people don't know this. And I was just like dead in my writing. And I was like, I was in between this age where everything I felt was just so young for me. And that's why having my daughter has excelled my comedy to the next level, because now it's this combination of who I am. And right now, my content is incredible. I'm just saying, it's incredible. It's funny. It's taking people by storm. They're just like, yo, this shit is gold. And that's what I was waiting for. I was not really inspired for comedy for a while. I was just like, I'm kind of over it. So I just hit that wall of my creativeness when it came to being on stage. I wasn't feeling anything that I was writing. So I was just like, all right, I have a lot of other stuff to focus on. I'm gonna just step away from the stage. Okay. So, and that's why them guys be laughing. They be like, you won't perform for, you like, I ain't performed in 5 months. They was like, and then you'll get up and rip a whole 40-minute show. And they was like, Memphis Will always laughs. So I'm like, man, y'all know I ain't been on stage in like five months. And they be like, all right. And then get up there and come back. And they just like, you do this every time. So when I say it's a gift, I cannot perform forever and then get back out there and be like, all right, you know what? I do miss this. So, it was like that for me for a while. And then now that I have her, it's just, I'm back in action. So.
Okay. So in terms of you being back in action, you could take a long time off and you could still do your thing. Let's go on the other side of being a comedian. Myself, I didn't know that before he passed away, Robin Williams, I didn't know he wrote jokes for Martin Lawrence. I never knew that. Are there any comedians that you're writing for now, or maybe you look forward to writing to, or has anyone written for you, if you're allowed to say it, on the Pimp Game Podcast?
Oh, I would say everybody know, and this is me, and this is even with my music. I write everything myself, and I would not give anybody any of my material. I'm very prideful on what comes out of my mouth is me. And I just can't give, and I know there's people that do it. There's teams that do it. There's crews that do it. Now, what we do a thing is punch up, right? So if my homeboy's on stage, I'm like, yo, if you add this, it'll take the joke next level, stuff like that. Or I've already got the joke and they go, yo, if you just add this to it, it'll make it even funnier. So punch ups, yes, I take punch ups, I give punch ups, but writing out sets and jokes for other people, that's, for me, it's not even my strong suit, because everything is so real and honest to me. I don't write like shtick comedy and I'm very true and honest on stage. So it's my experience. So even giving that to somebody wouldn't be delivered the same way. That's why I can just think of something and just like, okay, this is what I'm gonna talk about and go, because it's true, you know, or I've, you know, stuff that's around me. So no, but I know a lot of people do, and I'm not, you know, hating on nobody for that. That's what they do. And I know when you start getting bigger and bigger, people do that. But no, I wouldn't write for anybody. No, would not want anybody to write for.
Okay. Well said. Well said. I like that. So tell us, for if there's a young girl out there looking to do comedy, maybe a young boy out there looking to do comedy, they're looking to be the next KANISHA, BUSS on Comedy Central, Fox Soul, getting recognized by a lot of people in the industry. What is the route that you would tell them to take if they want to get in the comedy game?
Stage time. We're living in a time where social media has propelled a lot of people that are not ready for the big stage to a bigger stage. And this was how, because I'm an old school comic, we had to get up every night. Nobody was going viral, things like that. You know, it's a different time. I would say start at the basics so that you're ready. Do your 5 to 10 minutes, get your 3 to 5 minute sets and go out there, be honest, be transparent. And be yourself. Don't try to imitate anybody. It's weird when I be seeing a lot of imitation of people. I'm like, you can be yourself and do comedy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see another comedian hit the microphone on their leg while they're laughing. I swear to God, if I see that again, I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay. And I don't want to see nobody else have sex with the stool. But I'm just I'm like, yo, but go out there, and you're gonna be nervous, but do it. And then we're living in a time where you have to have an online presence. So you also have to make your online presence. So get your groundwork in at the clubs, but also they look for numbers. They look for everything online. So it's finding that balance. And even with a lot of us older comics, it's us finding that balance, you know, because like they pay me to make reels. I'm like, what am I? I'm not a 2-second funny person to me. They're like, just get on there and talk. That should be working. I just be posting my daughter and getting paid. Like, all right, look at her. She's funny. So finding out, it's just it's so much more ways to make money and get your name out there than it was before. Everything used to be word of mouth, but the power of social media is incredible. So, but put the groundwork in too, so that you'll have a strong foundation. You know, because what a big thing I've seen is on social media, those fan bases are middle school, high school, college. But when you get to the comedy club, everybody's about 25, 30 and up. So I've seen people kill online and then they get on that stage doing what they was doing. And it's just not translating. And they just bomb so back to back to back all the time. So just make sure you have an even foundation for both.
I like that. I like that. If you're a comedian out there, make sure you have a even foundation for both. That's right, online and live. I like that. I really like that. Yo, so if you are just joining us, you are tuned in to the Pimp Game Podcast, and we are here with the infamous KANISHA BUSS. That's right, comedian out of LA, and I'm your host, Kenny D, and we are talking about KANISHA being in the industry. So tell us, because we talked about it earlier in the show. You know about it. I know we chatted about it just a little bit with the death of Takeoff from the rap group, the Migos. How do you feel about that? And you know, it's so sad that we see a lot of these young rappers dying. He died at the age of 28 years old. What are your thoughts on the death of Takeoff of the rap group?
It feels like it's on repeat. It feels like every couple of weeks, I feel like we're hearing the same story over and over and over again with these young Black men. And I don't know if motherfuckers don't want to learn, fight no more, what? But it's like, you have to learn to be in control of your emotions. And I feel like we're living in a time where a lot of young people don't have control of their emotions. So it's like, let me pull out the gun and act like it was no reason for nobody to be shooting. And it's like, robbing, it's hard for me. We're just surrounded by death. It's unfortunate. Like, I'm heartbroken for him. He was out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's always like that cool out the way person that's never involved in nothing, real chill, that just caught a stray bullet. We don't know the situation. I don't know what 100% happened. I know there's different stories, you know, transcribing. I wish people would stop posting people's last moments on social media. It's very triggering. It's very hard to watch, and you're just scrolling and come across, you know, things like that. So I wish people would stop doing that, especially for the families and the kids that gotta, you know, see their loved one passed out on the floor. For me, I don't even know what to say about it, because it's nonstop. It's like, when are we what's the solution? What's the solution? What are we doing here? I think mandatory therapy is something that our entire community needs, honestly. we all need therapy. And I feel like learning how to channel your emotions and your anger and learning how to walk away and not being so, you know, a lot of men right now that I know people don't want to hear have feminine responses. Men should be more logical. Women are more emotional. And we're living in a time where, especially the age generation, and a lot of us was raised moms, aunties, everything. So they have female responses and stuff. That's how they're gonna be mad at me for saying that. But I was like, yo, it is what it is. Jack had a really good joke, and he was talking about the government did this shit. We got a whole generation of sassy ass niggas that was raised by our aunts and uncles. That's what it is. And I was just like, man, he ain't lying. Like, it is what it is. But we have to find a way to heal ourselves, because the people are profiting off our death. You know what I'm saying? They're Black trauma porn. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just us. People of all races are killing each other. I seen a white man kill his neighbor over some snow. So we're not just going to focus like we're not the only one. It's in general, like your proximity to who you're with is who you're going to kill most. So I'm not a big fan of the Black on Black crime, because it's white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime. They don't attack everybody else. You kill who's around your environment, and you beef Mexican or whatever it is. So for me, it's just like therapy. I'm telling you, that's all I can say. I was like, we need therapy. We're broken. And hurt people.
Mental health is a real thing. It is really a real thing. So, any final thoughts for you before we sign off on Pimp Game? Anything you want to say to your fans as we sign off on Pimp Game?
Yes, please download the Caffeine app. It is free, and watch me host every Tuesday at 6 o'clock to know about that. It's a fun hip hop game show. Check me out at All Def Digital Women, and All Def Digital Cannabis. We have a bunch of shows over there. Follow me on social media, which is KANISHA BUSS on everything. It'll let you know what shows I have coming up, what events that I have coming up, and where you can get the merch, because we are the Bus Riders. That's my little crew, Bus Riders. So it'll be lit. So get your shirts. And for me, just, follow your dreams, follow your heart. We have one time in this human experience what you want to experience. Don't let anybody put limitations on you, and find a way to make it work. You know what I'm saying? And people are here to help you. They're here to love you, and you have to love yourself first. So
I like that. So we would like to thank to all our viewers out there. We want to thank you for tuning into the Pimp Game Podcast, as well as our YouTube viewers out there. We want to thank you as well. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And also make sure you turn the notifications on, so that when we upload videos, you are the first to get it. And also, we want to thank the infamous KANISHA BUSS, comedian out of LA. We want to thank you for blessing us with your presence on the Pimp Game Podcast. All right. And before we let you go ahead, tell us who you chilling with.
Man, it's your girl, KANISHA BUSS, and I'm here chilling with Kenny D on the Pimp Game Podcast.
I like that. See you guys next time on the Pimp Game Podcast. You don't want to miss it. Holla.
Audio Jungle.